Welcome everybody to the Sub 4 RA channel. I'm your host Rhino, and this is the Adult Diecast Racing Cup. Today, coming from the Talladega Superspeedway. You're getting a look at the track at how it was set up for qualifying. Race day gonna be a little bit different, make it a little bit smoother, especially coming off of turn 1 going into turn 2. Alright, we have segment 1 at the start gate now, ready to go. Let's go for driver introductions. Alright, segment 1 on the track. They're going to be led down by the Interstate Batteries number 18 Pontiac, driven by Bobby Labonte. On his outside in the 1 car, it's Kiko. Row 2, 79 car, making his debut here in the ADRC. That is Captain Tony. On his outside in the 29 car, it's Chris. Row 3 in the 4 car, it's Bud. On his outside, all too familiar with this track, is he? 3D. Remember, 4 laps, winner goes on to the main event. Let's do it. Alright, caution on the track for our first El Reco of the day. He didn't last long, unfortunately. Captain Tony goes up the turn, down over on his lid, and looks like Kiko is going to lead him down through lap 1. He has problems off the turn. It's going to be Chris. Kiko does back it in, though. Going to remain in there for second place. Take a look from the inevitable finish line cam. Just edges out Labonte, so Labonte loses 2 spots. Going to restart it, 3 to go. Chris, Kiko gonna lead him down. Alright, Captain Tony unfortunately cannot complete a lap. Already back to the Dave Akers Customs garage. Here we go. 3 to go. Ah man, 3D out of the race. Let's take a look at the replay here. Bud hard into 3D. They're all collecting up front. 3D breaks away and gets in the back of Kiko, and that causes him to go over, unfortunately. Chris leads him down, and then Bud just edges out Labonte back to the line for second. So we're going to have 2 to go. Chris and Bud going to lead you down. Alright, we had a whole lot happen that lap. Let's go back, take a look at the replay. Look at Labonte, squeezes 3 wide, gets in the back of Bud, takes over Chris, and in turn, Labonte goes over as well. The whole time Kiko, untouched, gets through all the traffic, all the way to the checkers. We got 1 to go. The 1 car of Kiko, the 4 car of Bud. Who's it gonna be? 2 cars left, 1 to go. Oh, Bud had just enough momentum after they got tangled up. Look at this. They both do a crossover here. And it looked like, if he would have had just that slightest of openings, Kiko would have got through and more than likely would have taken segment 1 here. But as it stands, Bud breaks free of Kiko there. Almost had him in a WrestleMania headlock. Crosses the line. Bud, for Team Neuro 62, they needed this going on to the main event. Alright, segment 2 is ready to go. They're going to be led down by the first-time driver here on the Sub 4 RA channel, the number 4 car of Bookham Dano. On his outside, he's off to a great start here in his rookie season, and 3 car of Paducah. Row 2, also a rookie in the 7 car, that's Harry Hoon. On his outside, the 1 car Maxilla. And in row 3, your 2019 ADRC champ Frank Klein. On his outside, another rookie, the 3 car of Lucky Jackson. Oh man, what a hot mess right here. The cars that were on the front row to start this segment got swallowed up there. Bookham Dano's going to go over and look like Paducah had too much speed coming off of turn 1. Harry Hoon, the only one who had his stuff together there in lap 1. Easily no competition, the only one who finished. So unfortunately, Bookham Dano, Paducah, going to be a bad points day for Paducah, out of it. We got 3 to go, going to be led by Harry Hoon and Max Zilla. All right, Lucky Jackson, the latest El Reco here in the ADRC. Look at Frank Klein right here. Look at the move he does. Almost gets wrecked, gets around his son, and then look at that move past Harry Hoon. What a move, and has enough momentum. Gonna carry him just ahead of the Mater-style Harry Hoon there. Frank Klein gonna lead him down, 2 to go. Man, what a pass that was. Damn, that's pretty good. The fire truck's already on the way to the scene of the wreck before it even happened. But look at this. Frank Klein gets nudged, skids out. Harry Hoon. I don't know what it is with Harry. Must like driving backwards. He's going to, well, look, he's got Frank Klein doing it too. So monkey see, monkey do, apparently. We got 2 cars left. How many laps are left? 2? 1? I'm going to go with 1. Yep, see, final lap. Wow, you really got to give it up to Harry Hoon on this lap. For one, he finishes driving forward, how you supposed to. But a little slide job off of Frank Klein there. Frank Klein gave him all he had. Drove it in a little bit too hard off of 2. Harry Hoon picks up the segment win. He will go on to the main event. All right, before we start segment 3, got to let you know, Ken Castillo switches, rides the 75 out of commission. He is going to hop into Frank Klein's backup car, see what he can do in that 33. Now we got segment 3 ready to go, and we got a lot of inexperience actually in this segment. They're going to be led down by the first-time racer here on the Sub 4 R8 channel, Riley Cumming in the 43 Air Force car. On his outside, also first-time racing here in the ADRC, this is Mikey for Key West Racing. Row 2, the 44 car, he's still around. Kyle Petty on the rubber tires. This car sent in by the Ghost Jerker family, racing for Manny Petty Racing. Here he is, still can qualify for some races. It's amazing. Awesome looking car. On his outside, yet again, another team for Vinny Nightlife and the 27 car. This is what his 4th ride in the ADRC, and this is only the 3rd season. This guy really knows how to, he's a social butterfly or something, bouncing around. He's like bar hopping, but only team hopping, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. And in row 3, it's going to be Ken Castillo in the backup 43 car, and on his outside, the 3 car of Golden Girl. All right, a lot going on there. Lap 1. Take a look at the front row here. They're going to get collected. Vinny Nightlife into the back of Mikey, spins him around, but keeps him going. And then Vinny spins out right into the 43, and then everybody just bunches up after that, except for Mikey. He backs it up, and then it's a crawl to the finish line for the remaining cars battling it out. Looked like Kyle Petty got in there for a second, so we're going to go back to the... wait a minute. Yeah, that Mikey's correct. How did King Castillo get up there? Shouldn't that have been Kyle Petty? 3 to go. We're going to drop the green. It looks like nobody caught that. All right, let's go back and look at this. Yes, Kyle Petty, yes, in the 43. What happened? King Castillo should have started 5th. I mean, based off of that lap he ran, yeah, he looked really good. He probably would have passed some cars, but still, oh, that's unfortunate for the other cars in the field. Now, look for King Castillo to probably take this handily with the car he has. All right, so Mikey, King Castillo battling it out there, so we're going to have 1 to go. Man, what just a strange segment this has been. Man, it was impressive that all 6 cars had remained in it despite the gaffe after the first lap. But there goes Riley Cumming, goes over. King Castillo, a smooth lap there, followed by Mikey, Vinny, Nightlife, and Golden Girl. But still, a lot of controversy going to come out of this. All right, we got 3 segments in the book, 3 to go. But we're going to take a break at this time. We'll be right back after these messages. The Adult Diecast Racing Cup would like to thank 3dbotmaker.com for their sponsorship in the 2020 season. Remember, 3dbotmaker.com is your one-stop shop for all your 1/64 scale diecast race accessory needs. Things are getting really electrifying in the Liquid Rush Energy Drink Series. You can be a sponsor for as little as a $5 donation through PayPal, friends, and family to sub_4_RA@yahoo.com. Have you been accused of a crime that you did not commit? Then you or a loved one need to get on the phone now and call the law offices of Harry, Dingle, and Barry. They've been serving you since 2002. Do not delay. Pick up that phone now and make that call. All right, segment 4 on the track, ready to go. And this might be the segment I'm most looking forward to. We got a lot of new teams stepping it up here, looking to make a name for themselves in the ADRC. They're going to be led down by the 3 car there, the Camaro from the Grand American Series. This is Brian Kelly racing for Show Me State Scale Auto Racing. On his outside, the 50 car, she has a new car, and it must do her well. She's in her very first ADRC race for Key West Racing. That's the 50 car of Lucy I'm Home. I always have to say that. Row 2, the 43 car. This is from Mike Carroll's satellite team. This is Zombie Hamilton in the STP 43, making their debut here in the ADRC. On his outside in the 28, that's Swervin' Irvin for the Catalina Wine Mixers, who had a great debut last week. And in row 3, the 911 car, she is your series points leader right now, Carly Kay. On her outside in the 2 car, Burt Buzzard. All right, go back, take a look at the replay here. Zombie Hamilton getting the back of Brian Kelly. Kelly into the 28. And look at that, Swervin' Irvin and Zombie Hamilton both go over. Burt Buzzard gets through 1. Almost gets through Lucy, but Brian Kelly brings it home. And there they are in the back there, Zombie Hamilton and Swervin' Irvin out of it after one lap. 3 to go, going to be led by Brian Kelly and Lucy, I'm home. Man, what a strong ride Lucy had right here. Straight shot into the curves. Look at Carly Kay here. Off turn 1, goes over, flips, and then back on her tires. So fortunately for her, the momentum didn't carry her over back onto her roof. But Lucy, man, what a strong lap that was. Burt Buzzard, unfortunately, out of the race. We're going to have 2 to go. Lucy and Brian Kelly. And that 50 car is almost looking unstoppable. Here we go. We got 1 lap to go. A couple of brand new drivers and the series points leader right behind them. Here we go. 1 to go. Should be good. All right, great battle there. Look at this 911 car of Carly giving Brian Kelly a push. Lucy up in front of Brian Kelly. Kelly gets spun a little bit, but Carly Kay goes over out of the race. It looked like Kelly was going to get past Lucy, but no, gets collected. They both stop before the finish line, so we're going to have to restart this 1 to go with just Brian Kelly and Lucy. All right, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about right here. A couple of new drivers making a name for themselves. Look at Lucy looking really strong, but then just a little bit of a bobble there. Brian Kelly has enough room on the outside to get around. He almost has some issues, but makes it all the way back to the checkers. And Brian Kelly is going on to the main event. All right, segment 5 is in the gate, ready to go. They're going to be led by a driver still in a backup car, and nobody is talking about, and she is up there in the points in the top 3. It's the 11 car of Lady Red Pill. On her outside, he's had some good qualifying efforts as of late. Can that translate to good race day, though? That's the 00 of Dirty Deeb. Row 2, he has raced strong this year. He's had a lot of fortunate things happen, but he's put himself in the position for those to happen. In the Converse All-Star car, the 68, Rusty Nubbins. On his outside, another new car, the 94 car. This is also out of Mike Carroll's stable. This is Ryder Knightley. Row 3, a familiar face here in the 1 car. Too bad the name still is hard to pronounce. It's Nasara Charonkel or something like that. And on her outside, the 7 car he won in his debut last week. QVC was burnt into my mom's screen because she watched it too much when I was a kid. Jeff Bodine. I'm probably going to be talking about that stuff all season long. Do you want to party? Well, in such times as social distancing, probably not a good idea. Fortunately for Jeff Bodine, will not repeat. He goes over. Lady Red Pill still racing in her backup car. I don't know if anybody's going to catch her. They're sure as hell going to try, though. Jeff Bodine now back to the garage. Just a completely different turn of events for him this week. We're going to have 3 to go. Lady Red Pill, Dirty Deeb, still leading you down. All right, take a look at this on the replay. Lady Red Pill, I don't know if she got into Dirty Deeb. Look at this, rolls over though. Luckily for her, back on her wheels. Don't know if that was Dirty Deeb, Lady Red Pill, or just one of those racing things. But look at this, Rusty Nubbins, just like we said, has been able to take advantage of others' misfortunes this season. And that lap was no exception for Rusty Nubbins. Gonna get him back up to the start gate, 2 to go. Nubbins, Lady Red Pill. Now, sounds like we got a frog in the booth or something. I'm not sure, but look at this. Rusty Nubbins gets held up there by Dirty Deeb, and then Nassara Trunkle in the back of Nubbins takes him over. Lady Red Pill coming off of turn 2 gets a little squirrely, but is able to correct it through. And then Ryder Knightley right after her, Trunkle or something like that, Dirty Deeb. And let's see if we can hear the frog. Yeah, pretty much that's what that had to have been. No doubt about it, Mike. Okay, here we go. Lady Red Pill, Ryder Knightley with 1 to go. Let's take a look at the old replay. Lady Red Pill, smooth sailing through 1. Look at, they go over and they both flip back. Ryder Knightley and Nassara Trunkle or something like that. Both land back on the wheels, whereas Lady Red Pill, that was a pretty much perfect run. She is on now, again this season, to the main event. All right, 6th and final segment on the track, ready to go. Going to be led by the 3 car of B. Finn. On his outside, making his ADRC debut. Also in the 3 car, that's Slammin' Dale. Row 2, in the 1 car, it's Glitter Girl on her outside. What are we playing, pairs here? Another 1 car, that's Sean from Redline Salvage Inc. And in row 3, it's the 20 car of Tony Stewart. And if Nero 62 had a 0 at the end of his number, he'd be 20 also. But no, he is 2. Just 2. Man, aggressive lap. Look at Tony Stewart here. Out of the race. I think he might have taken... Nope, that was all him. Oh, man. Oh, look at the Glitter Girl. He did take out Glitter Girl. Too aggressive with smoke there. And then the rest of the pack finally gets going, but not enough momentum. That will, however, still count as a lap. Sure, Glitter Girl's going to be a little pissed at smoke when they get back to the garage, which it looks like they already are. We're going to restart it. 3 to go. B. Finn and Sean from Redline Salvage Inc. And the 6th segment is going aggressive after this. Take a look at this. You're going to see, look at that, almost off the track. Slammin' Dale rolls over Nero, but somehow, some way, Slammin' Dale remains on his tires. And the 1 car, Sean, makes it all the way back to the finish. We're going to have 2 to go. Sean and B. Finn. I tell you, this is as cutthroat of a segment as I have seen in a while. Look at Nero 62 being real aggressive, doesn't let off the throttle going in the turn, knocks Sean from Redline Salvage Inc. He barrel rolls twice onto his roof. B. Finn also goes over, and Nero is able to take it back to the checkers. Gonna lead him down all the way to the back now, B. Finn and Sean. So we're gonna have one to go. It's gonna be Nero 62 and Slammin' Dale. Another wreck yet again. Nero 62 over on his roof. Slammin' Dale picks up the segment win. Look at this. Oh man, they almost both went over. We almost had our very first segment, which a car did not finish, but Slammin' Dale able, that's some great driving by him, able to get enough momentum to get back to the checkers. The sole survivor here in segment 6. All right, who has a boiler like me and is ready for seconds? Here we go. All the cars that finish second in their segment gonna battle it out. 2 laps, the winner will go on to the main event. Gonna be led by the 00 of Dirty Deeb and the 50 car of Lucy. How they start here in the seconds is how they qualified, so that's why qualifying is so key. 2 laps. All right, that was kind of an interesting segment. Looked like Frank Klein got held up by the lane divider, and then everybody is just beating and banging. Look at Kiko goes over, and it looked like Dirty D was going to break free of all that mess. Eventually does. He's going to lead him down. It's going to be 1 to go. Dirty D, Lucy, with Frank right behind him. Looks like we also lost Mikey there. All right, here we go. 1 to go. Oh, dude, the experience coming through for Frank Klein. You saw the pass he made earlier in his segment. Look at this. Gets by Dirty Deeb. Running neck and neck now. Gets a bump on Lucy. Gets her a little bit further, but look at the move he puts right here. Guns it. Gets right by her. Has just enough room. We're going to look at this from the inevitable side cam. Oh, look at that. Full speed. Now we're going to slow it back down. Frank Klein at the last second gets the pass from Lucy and will go on to the main event. And speaking of main events, guess what? That's right. It's main event time. That's right. The 6 cars that won their respective segments, as well as Frank Klein, your wild card car, the Stayin' Alive car, if you will, onto the main event as well. Now, when you make the main event, we're going to reset the lineup based on how you qualified. So again, qualifying so important. So they're going to be led down by the Cinderella story right now, Brian Kelly in that Camaro. The Mountain Dew 3 on his outside, flying so much underneath the radar, it's almost ridiculous. The 11 car of Lady Red Pill. 4 laps. Let's do it. Wow, that was one hell of a way to start the segment. Look at this. They, against the divider so hard, they break it off. It goes flying. Thankfully, nobody hurt for 1, and 2, it didn't really affect any sort of outcome in this first lap. It looked like unconfirmed who went over there. Couldn't quite tell. Lady Red Pill, though, and Brian Kelly bring it back. Kelly spins out, and that's going to give Slammin' Dale the opportunity to get by him here for second, and it looked like actually it was Harry Hoon, the 7 car. Yes, it is Harry Hoon, as a matter of fact, who wrecks and is out of the race, unfortunately. All right, going to restart the main event here. 3 laps to go. Lady Red Pill and Slammin' Dale. Well, by my calculations, that lap took about 1.5 years, but look at this right here. Lady Red Pill, not sure if anybody, no, she just went over too much speed. Slammin' Dale went over, and he ended up landing back on his tires, and look at that, Frank Klein also. So the husband and wife duo here in the main event, Frank Klein and Lady Red Pill, both out of the race, unfortunately for them. Slammin' Dale, a lot of fortunate thanks for him this lap. One of which, all right, let's speed it up. There you go. Attaboy. Yep. Frank Klein, Lady Red Pill out of the race. We're going to have 2 to go. Slammin' Dale and Brian Kelly, the Cinderella story of this segment. Look at this. In the backup car, the gaff we had earlier, King Castillo still in it. Don't count out Bud. Strong lap by Brian Kelly right here. Might have got... No, did it on his own. But look at that. Slammin' Dale goes up. Oh! Brian Kelly almost goes over. And look at this. How quiet he has been until right now. Ken Castillo and Frank Klein's backup car is going to be running on the front row with 1 to go. Brian Kelly, if he can pull this off right here, this will be the greatest upset in all of Diecast mod racing history. Not putting him down, I'm just going off of experience from the other builders in this race. Brian Kelly, can he do it? 1 to go. Oh, he put up one hell of an effort, but not quite. And look at this right here. If he had just been there a split second before Ken Castillo going into the turn, I think Kelly would have at least had the lead going into turn 2. But unfortunately for him, not the case. And Ken Castillo, talk about, for one, crazy things going on in his segment. And then he was basically unheard of in the main event until the finish of the second to last lap. Ken Castillo picks up another win here in the Adult Diecast Racing Cup. This time in a backup car. Frank Klein, the boss. Not Bruce Springsteen, but Frank Klein, the boss of Red Pill Racing. All right, this should be your finishing order. Everything should be correct here. Great day for Ken Castillo. Started off horrible in qualifying, and somehow, some way, he picks up a huge W for him and Red Pill Racing. All right, time to get down to the Sub 4 RA Victory Lane Podium, brought to you by Dave Akers Customs. Remember, think about it. If it wasn't built by Dave, yep, you're thinking about it. It was built by somebody else. Congratulations goes out to Ken Castillo. Picks up his 3rd career ADRC victory. Now, no doubt nobody picked him. What they saw in qualifying in a 75 went to Frank Klein's backup, the 33, and gets the job done. So congratulations to Ken Castillo. All right, at this time, let's go through the point standings after 4 events. All right, let's take a look at the last lap again. Ken Castillo in the borrowed 33 car. The only lap he leads here in the main event, of course, being the most important one. So congratulations, Ken Castillo, on his third career 80RC victory. That's the most out of any driver. That's going to do it for Talladega. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.